Beneath the noise of the weekly tech cycle, a single force is pulling all industry resources toward artificial intelligence. Empery Digital recently pivoted away from its foundational corporate strategy by liquidating roughly half of its massive Bitcoin treasury. This chart shows the financial logic behind that move. While returns on passive assets like Bitcoin remained relatively flat, the rental yields for AI-capable server infrastructure skyrocketed, outpacing traditional investment growth over the last 24 months. When the revenue from server space exceeds the returns on liquid capital, owning AI infrastructure becomes the primary requirement for a company's long-term valuation. Building that infrastructure requires more than just money. It requires elite engineering talent, and the supply is failing to meet the demand. This shortage led Apple to file a federal lawsuit against OpenAI. The lawsuit alleges that the ChatGPT creator is stealing trade secrets to fuel its own ambitions in the AI hardware space. Over 400 specialized engineers and designers migrated from Apple's Cupertino headquarters to OpenAI's San Francisco offices. Apple specifically claims that OpenAI provided these employees with circumvention protocols, allowing them to bypass internal security monitoring while transferring proprietary data to their new employer. The targeted extraction of a rival's proprietary knowledge has become a core tactic for companies trying to win the AI hardware race. While executive teams fight in federal court, a parallel struggle is taking place within the open-source code that keeps global servers online. Security researchers recently identified a severe root-level vulnerability hidden within Linux, the operating system that powers the vast majority of the world's servers. Human researchers missed this bug for 15 years. An AI system finally identified a pattern too complex for a person to spot. But as AI strengthens our server defenses, the Australian Cybersecurity Centre is warning of a massive surge in low-tech, traditional threats. This pie chart shows the primary vulnerability. WordPress powers 40% of the internet, and a massive portion of sites rely on unpatched legacy plugins. Attackers use automated lists to systematically find these outdated plugins, probing for entry points left open by administrative neglect. We are entering a period where AI guards our deepest server roots, while simple neglect leaves the surface of the web exposed to the most basic attacks. These infrastructure shifts eventually reach the consumer. Because the hardware market is so saturated, companies are turning to aggressive tactics to capture and keep new users. T-Mobile is currently offering the iPhone 17 completely free to customers who switch, a move that shows a locked-in subscriber is worth more than the upfront cost of a flagship phone. A digital purchase is a temporary license, giving the provider the power to terminate a user's access to their entire library at any time. This lack of ownership became a crisis for a Brazilian gamer whose account was compromised. Microsoft initially refused to restore his access, effectively wiping out his entire investment in digital games. This diagram breaks down the risk. A physical disk is an anchored, permanent asset. A digital library is a fragile node connected to a corporate server. If that connection is severed, the user loses everything. A Brazilian court recently ruled against Microsoft, forcing the company to restore the user's account and pay moral damages. As the industry moves towards subscription-only models, this ruling sets a precedent for digital consumer rights. Even as tech giants consolidate power through AI and infrastructure, the legal pushback at the consumer level is beginning to redefine the future of digital ownership.